Hello everyone, and welcome you to IMC and to our meditation together. And as we begin, I want to mention that the attitude with which we meditate might be more important than how we meditate, the meditation practice we do. If we do a practice that is striving, we are just developing more striving. If we do a meditation practice that has a lot of focus on myself as a good meditator, capable meditator, we might just be developing more preoccupation with self. If we do meditation half-heartedly, we might be cultivating more half-heartedness in our lives. But if we do a meditation practice wholeheartedly, as if each moment is arriving, each moment is fulfilling the purpose of meditation. So we're not ahead of ourselves, not trying to make something happen, but cultivating more a deep groundedness, a deep settledness here in this experience. Then we're developing that for ourselves. A way of being at home in this moment. And if we meditate with the attitude of deep listening, that we're here to listen to ourselves in a deep way, then we cultivate a number of things. We cultivate listening. We also cultivate respect. And we cultivate a openness that allows something inside of us to reveal itself. If we're with a friend who's quite shook up about something and not really ready to speak, we just sit with them, we walk with them, we bring them tea, and we attend to them, we're present for them, but we don't push them to speak. If someone has something very important to say, but they can't find the words, they're challenged, it's difficult emotionally to start speaking, then again, we don't push them, and we sit with them, and we're available, and we're attentive, waiting, ready for when they want to speak. And then eventually our friend begins speaking. So something similar with ourselves, that what's deeper in us, the deeper truths about who we are, what's going on, they might be shy, they might be quiet, they might need us to be quiet so we can hear. They also, what's deeper in us, might not be ready to reveal itself to us until we have the right attitude of acceptance or openness or non-assertiveness, but maybe available in a wholehearted listening. We're not coming with our judgments and expectations and desires, perhaps even with our fears. All those are allowed to settle for an attitude of availability. So to assume a meditation posture, and perhaps there's some way of elongating your spine a little bit, or maybe elongating a little bit in the neck, and letting the chin tuck down a little bit towards the chest. And then to either lower your gaze or to close your eyes. And letting the eyes be relaxed. There's no need to be looking at anything with the eyes, searching for anything. And the eyes can rest in their sockets. And without taking some deep breaths, listen, feel your way to the beginning of the inhale. Where in the body is the first indication that you're going to breathe in? First movement. Where's the first indication you're going to exhale? The beginning of that movement. And where does the exhale end? What's the last sensation that characterizes exhaling? And now, from the beginning of the inhale to the end of the inhale, breathing in deeply, connecting to your body from the inside, feeling the expansion of the torso, and let there be a lengthy exhale all the way to the end of the exhale. Breathing in deeply and fully, and relaxing on the exhale. And letting your breathing return to normal. And for the next 3 or 4 breaths, continue settling in on the exhale, relaxing. exhale, relaxing the thinking mind. Soften in the mind. And then settling into breathing. Without any concern for anything that's before or after. One inhale. Without any concern for anything that's before or after the exhale. As if each breath, no matter how comfortable or uncomfortable it is arriving here, is the destination. To be with each in-breath and out-breath is not the beginning of a process of meditation. It's the completion of it for that moment, that breath. With each inhale, you arrive in the present moment. With each exhale, you arrive here and now. To be content with that, as if that's the fullness of it all. And then to the degree to which you're here with each breath, here in the moment, see if you can have an attitude of being available to whatever wants to reveal itself deep inside. What does your depths want to say, and how can you listen? Nothing more to do but to be here, available to hear, sense, feel. What is here? And then coming to the end of the meditation, taking a short period here to maybe let go of whatever meditation you've been doing, and instead just to listen deeply to yourself. If you're available, quietly, not searching, not trying, looking for something, just available for yourself. What shows itself to you? And might it feel good? For how you are, to be received and known in the simplest possible way. Allow to be as you are. And may it be that what we learn about listening to ourselves, being available to hear, feel, discover how we are in some deep way, may it be that we can apply this to others. We can learn to do it in our relationships, to be listeners, to be present, to be available for them. So what's in them, in their depths, can have space, can be accepted, can be known, even if they don't tell us. Maybe it's good for them to have this respect and care. And may it be that the benefits of our mindfulness, our ability to be present, serves for the welfare and happiness of the world. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings everywhere be free. Thank you. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second talk on wise listening. And it's really a fantastic thing to become a listener, to listen well, to listen well to ourselves, to listen well to others. And so I want to read a poem by a Japanese poet named Shinkichi Takahashi. It's a short poem. I don't take your words merely as words. Far from it. I listen to what makes you talk, whatever that is, and me listen. So it's not just listening to what people have to say. Certainly that's important, especially if they want us to understand. But it's also listening to what makes them speak. What's the motivation? What's the underlying kind of inspiration or movement to speak? Because there's the message of the words, and also there's the message of what's making a person say what they're going to say. Is it a movement to feel more connected to you? Or is it a movement to pull away, to avoid you? Is it a movement to praise themselves and get affirmation? Or is it a movement to apologize for themselves and to somehow make themselves smaller in relationship to you? Is it because they want to get something from you? Or is it because they want to support you and see what they can offer you? Are they saying what they're saying so that in fact they do feel maybe safer with you, or feel more like a sense of friendliness or connection? Or they're saying what they want to say because they want to be safe and they're trying to create some safety. So there goes on, the list can go on and on. And but if we are only taking the literal meaning of the words into account, we might actually be missing a huge part of what's really happening in the conversation. And so to go along with the teaching last week on right speech, where the second criteria for right speech is it true? So for wise listening, what's most true here? What's really true? Because sometimes the literal meanings of the words of what people speak, it might be true enough, but not really the truth that needs to be expressed. Really the truth that is what's happening here for the person. And, if a person is praising you, which might feel nice, and you might get distracted by the niceness of the praise, but if you listen, what's behind the praise? And maybe people feel insecure, and they're looking for some way to make themselves safe in your presence, because if they praise you, you'll relax and not threaten them. So if that's what's true under the words, that's a powerful and important truth to recognize. And if we care for them and offer them general, genuine care, then we take that into account. And maybe the praise is not that important. What's important is that we show that them that they have nothing to fear with us. If what they want is they're trying to manipulate us to get something, that's actually important to see. That's actually more true than the words. The words might actually be deceptive. And so if what's true is they're trying to trick us into getting something from us, then if we know that, then how do we care for them then? Do we simply cut them out and say no or avoid them? But you can also keep asking more deeply, what drives them to want to try to get something from me? Are they afraid? Are they insecure? Are they poor and desperate? What's happening for people? And this idea of listening for what's most true in others is a powerful gift we give to people. What is most true for this person here now? Is it, so this then going under the words, going deeper, what is most true? And my suggestion And the kind of the assumption, the theory that I operate under is that if you can find what is most true in yourself, most true in others, you discover beauty. You discover something precious. You discover something tender, something that it's easy to love or care for or be generous towards. And even the people who have you know, the worst behavior and horrible words of hate and if we can listen, if we can be present enough, and behind the hate, behind those words, behind the attitude of hate that's there, and go, what is most true at the depths of who they are? And I'm not saying this is universal at all, but what comes to mind right now is that there we might find that even though the person is a grown-up, we find a scared 3-year-old that somehow no one ever cared for that fear, and it never got resolved, and the hate is just an expression of trying to be safe, trying to have a temper tantrum to get attention or something. And so again, I'm not assuming that all hate is this way, but this theory, this assumption that I like to operate under, is that if you go deep enough, you find what's most true, you find something beautiful. I'm not going to claim it's always that's always the case, but it's very often, if that's the assumption and we listen for it, that's what gets, then it has a chance to come forward. Then it has a chance to be discovered. And but if we don't have that theory, then it'll never be discovered. And so to listen, what is most true? What's the most important thing here? What's the root of all this behavior that we hear and see? And so to listen, to be available, to sense. And I love the idea of this kind of listening being an availability, because we're not rushing people. We're not probing necessarily to get to the bottom, unless they're asking us, can you help me explore something? But but just this deep sense of availability, and the lesson of that kind of listening and availability is that we can be complete, we can be at ease, we can be at home in this world in that availability. We're just available for what's here. We're not anxious about what's here, or greedy of what's here, or expecting something, or wanting it to be different. There's something very powerful about just feeling and sensing, oh, this is good. And I saw this with when I was raising young children, that how significant it was about the attitude the adults around them had. And if the adults who were anxious were somehow teaching the kids that the world is a dangerous place and you should be anxious. But the parents who, even when things were difficult and challenging, had a sense of being at ease and at home here, and that the children were learning this lesson that, oh, this world is a place where I can feel at home, I can feel at ease, even when there are challenges. So this idea of listening, available, as if there's nothing else we need to do, and we're just content and happy to be present and available and here, and be a listener. I think it's medicine for many people to do this. So, to listen for what is most true. And I believe that to do that well, we have to also have done that for ourselves. To listen, to hear, to sense what is most true here. But not to do it searching into the future, but more as arriving here and being available. So what's that deep inside of us stops being shy, or feels it's okay to come forth and reveal itself. So the attitude, creating in ourselves an attitude of welcome, availability to ourselves and to others. So, so if these words about listening today seem interesting for you to experiment with during the day, you might, in the right time, be a little bit wise about the time to do it, not to automatically do it everywhere you go, with all conversations you go. But you might see if you can, what happens to you if in your mind you ask yourself the question, what is most true here? Under these words, behind these words that this person's speaking, what is most true? What's making them say what they're saying? And but don't be probing, don't be a microscope staring at them, but rather be available to sense and feel. Be available almost as if you're really asking that question and available, maybe something will be revealed. You don't have to figure it out. So, thank you very much, and I will look forward to tomorrow. And thank you.